From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge Media production. Thank you so much for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, a.k.a. the Brown Python, Ben, a.k.a. Mexican Nostradamus, and yours truly, Benji, a.k.a. Blueberry Sugar, here for another fantastic episode. Shout out to my tackle box for the music. And the way this show will begin, just as our show organically was created through that text thread that we always refer to. This week's conversation began with a single text. Rick was at his local grocery store shopping, and he noticed, holy motherfucker, there's nothing on the shelves. He took a picture, he sent it, and he said, are you guys experiencing the same thing? Is it like that where you shop? And I, for one, can speak intelligently on the topic because it has a great deal to do with how I make my money. So yes, that is the trend. That is happening. Yep. Ben, have you experienced that too?
Yeah, I mean, that actually, that really hit me, dude. It was crazy. The other day, I went to Kroger with my child. I was just shopping for basic stuff, and
sorry,
there was so much shit. Yeah, I know. Trust me. If there's an HEB or something out where I'm at, it would be amazing. But there's not. Fucking Kroger sucks.
Wait, you don't have HEB over there?
No, we don't. We don't because there will be because
it's coming. No, it's coming.
They're happy with their lives.
Yeah.
But basically, I saw nothing but Bareshelves everywhere, and it was basic things, and you're just like, it really struck me because I told my daughter, when we're walking, I go, this is so fucking weird. I've been around for 42 years. We went through 9/11. We've seen some crazy shit in the 42 years I've been on this planet. I've never seen this before. It's uncanny, right? It's just a crazy thing. So, I guess, yeah, I think most Americans now are really starting to experience it. Even during the beginning of the pandemic, I could kind of see why, but now it's really shocking me that this is still a problem. Right? I mean, It just seems weird. It just seems like none of this adds up. Jobless claims are up the last 2 or 3 weeks. So that means less people are being hired. More people are being fired. We keep talking about logistics and supply chains, but people are getting fired from those jobs, even though we need them to be there. Well, no. It's more than that. It's just, it's beyond that. The problem is I just don't see that this is really a real problem structured the way that they're trying to make it out to be.
I mean, reason behind it.
Well, I bagged Biden for it because he said, "Oh, and now I'm starting to think it is.
What?
I really think there's something going on with the logistics side chain companies and these companies to try to push this agenda. In a sense that
hike
what agenda?
Well, I think they're trying to raise prices. They're trying to add to inflation. They're trying to add to their bottom line. They're basically creating a supply and demand with basically shorting the American people because none of this makes sense. People are getting fired. For the most part, most logistical side trains are okay. Yes, there's a truck driver's problem, but it's not to the extent that would be crippling like the beginning of the pandemic was. But there's still a lot of bare shelves. There's still a lot of things happening. I don't know. I really hate to go down that route, but I really do think that this is some type of concerted effort now.
I mean, so yeah, create value through scarcity.
Yeah.
And that would I mean, I'm not. That would take a very coordinated effort, maybe.
Response.
But,
yeah, it would be.
But I'm not all in, but I'm kind of. I see where you're coming from. I mean, the fact of the matter is that, like, just taking one specific example, right? So with COVID, right, you have to sit at, like, every job. If you have COVID, it's mandatory that you stay home for whatever it is, even though they shortened it from 10 to 5.
Yeah, 5 days.
You still have to sit at. Yeah, if you test positive, you have to sit out for that amount of time, regardless.
Right.
So normally, right, pre-pandemic, if somebody's sick, okay, they're sick, they go to a doctor. Yeah, you get whatever sick time to use because you're sick. And then that's it. So it's like, you don't have to. In other words, you're not under obligation to not come back into work. You're like, you know what? I feel good enough to work. I can come back into work. So, but now it's like mandated that you have to stay. Okay. So that hurts throughout the whole process. Let's say a manufacturing plant that creates whatever it is that's going to get put on a truck, sent to wherever through some distribution chain. The manufacturing plant can only run from 100%. They shrink down now to 50% capacity because every motherfucker tests positive for Omicron over the December and January. So nobody's at work. They can't come into work. They're shorthanded. They can't get everything. So it starts there. And then around every single stop on the train, same thing. So by the time it gets to store, I mean, here's the thing. Grocery stores operate on, it's a penny business, and the profits are, there's so much, the genius and the thing that the aspects that go into just squeezing out whatever profit they can to stay operational is crazy. The amount of effort that goes into that. So in other words, it's a one day, it's a turnaround, like boom, boom, boom. Stuff comes off, gets unloaded, thrown on the shelf. So it's already operating at on a pretty thin margin for error just to survive. But you don't really realize that because that thread or that process isn't tested. Well, it got its ass kicked, the shit kicked out of it in 2020, and it still hasn't gotten back up off of the fucking floor. And now you keep adding the shit, even though you shrunk it down. You seem like you're going the other way, but it's like, but people still have. So in other words, it just keeps feeding into itself. So, but to your point, I'm still not, even though it makes sense and like why it's happening logically, but yeah, there's a lot of things involved in that make it that way. So I could see maybe.
I guess for me, I just don't, I don't get that. So like, there's right now multiple massive logistic and distribution companies that are getting the vaccines out. Right.
Yeah.
So one company in particular has got 9 billion vaccines out. They're the largest distributor and logistics company in the world, and they have not skipped one beat. That's with 35% of the labor force at most point in times missing. Now, if you take the newest variant, Omicron, for the most part, when I understand logistics, most things that we're seeing on the shelves now were moved a month or two ago when they were actually delivered, prepared, everything for purchasing, everything. This happened two months ago. But the results we're seeing were before the major spike of Omicron. Like I could see if in early February or mid-February, closer to March, we'd start seeing real bare shelves. But the outcome was quicker when it comes to overall logistics. I just don't buy the narrative. Like I understand, because if they're firing people, but people are also sick, now it doesn't make any sense. When I think about this, it just seems like the collection, it just doesn't make any sense. And I also can, and I hate to tie this to just another kind of, it doesn't seem like they link up, but same thing like what's going on with the market volatility going on right now. It seems like people are applying pressure on situations in these unorthodox ways. I think these retailers are doing it by shorting and cutting supply chains, just like the market's doing it. We saw a 12 or 1,300 point swing in one day because a lot of people are pissed that the fucking Fed is going to jack up the interest rates. The pressure over the last 3 days with the craziness of market volatility, basically, like the Fed said, oh, we're going to do it later. But we're going to do it. We're still going to do it, but later.
Why don't they just fucking do it or don't do it?
Exactly. But
or tell us
that's
when
what
you're
I'm
going to do it.
telling you. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what's happening with everyone right now. There's so much manipulation, I believe, in supply side and the market that I don't believe that these are not real problems.
Well, here's something though I just thought of right now during this conversation. Is like, so just consider this for a second too. Every single entity, whether it's like in industry or government or whatever, just like I'm just going to kind of blend in an analogy. It's like the phenomena of toilet paper being short, right? That's a result of a lot of things, right? A message coming across to the public, creating a little sense of panic, a panic overloading the supply chain, like we're just talking about, that they couldn't recover because it's not the operating capacity of the manufacturing isn't built for getting cleared off one time and then recouping. It's built on staying ahead and and keeping the pace going. But so when that gets fucked up, it just like the whole machine breaks.
Right.
So that being said, everybody sees stuff like that, and every entity, like I said, government, business, whatever, they all are like, ooh, I got to get mine. I got to get mine. So what that means is, how do you get yours? Well, okay, you cut labor, you, on the top end, you get more, right? So you increase just a little bit, a couple pennies here, a couple pennies there, but boom, across the whole board, it has a ripple effect. And now you're paying, $9 for something you used to pay $6 for overnight, because everybody has this sense of scarcity. And that sense of scarcity creates that reaction. And then but when it's applied across the board, that's when you have that's what we're running into. It's because it's just a problem that permeates through every part of the country, in every aspect of business or anything.
No, I mean, I get that. I get that it's like a trickle down effect from fear and from everything, but I just feel like there's more that meets the eye. I feel like the logistic failures are going beyond just people. I mean, a lot of logistics are mechanized. You see, I'm saying there's just something that's not right here.
Benji, to your point, Benji, I see what you're saying. I just listen to what you're saying, what Ben was saying. I've been kind of quiet about this, but I know what you're saying. There's a supply chain that happens, right? And if it's fine if you're a company, maybe 3 people are out in any given day, but what if the company that hauls your product has 3 people out too, and then the people who put it on the shelves has another 3 people out? Then the supply chain slows down, right? But what Ben is saying is that you have pharmaceutical companies who are releasing this vaccine and they don't skip a beat.
No shit.
I mean, that thing.
No, he's right.
I mean, well-oiled machine.
And I'm just saying 9 billion doses.
Yeah, they
that's
can get that
one
shit
of
out
them
there.
So without a problem. And these are cold chain deliveries. Cold chain.
Yeah.
Negative
that's
20. Right. They have to be maintained that way. So
And
that means that the boxes
understand.
have to be cut open after 24 hours. If not, all those shots are gone. But they can
no room for error on those, like refrigeration that heavy too. There's absolutely no room for error. So the amount of money that's invested into like the truck, it's not just like you can have like a couple of fucking ex-convicts or on half-ass on meth deliver some fucking ice. You know what I mean? And like, it's not that. This is like, some dudes in a bobtail, Benji? They put a couple fans in a fucking back of a U-Haul and put some ice. Anyway, go ahead, dude.
Fucking Rick. Guy's so stupid.
No, I'm just saying, like, to Ben's point, there's so much invested in that to haul merchandise that has that high of a dollar value to keep it at negative 20.
Dude,
and distribute 9 billion doses.
Do you understand how much money and how much technology has to go to preserve that? I guarantee there's no room for error. You can't lose. You can't lose. Do you understand how much money? You cannot. Because somebody has to drive the shit, right?
Yeah, these are first overnight shipments, guys. So whenever, and I don't know if you guys have, so I have a little bit of experience in cold chain technologies and stuff. So every one of these shipments is first overnight, right? So when you do something first overnight, 8 a.m., right? It takes the normal price times 10.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Because FedEx can't even fucking get like anything else out. But somehow every one of these fucking vaccines are getting out without a problem. There's no hiccup. I mean, there's so many fucking vaccines. If you wanted to, you could fucking swim in a river of vaccines anywhere right now, and that's not a problem.
Well, I've often wondered where they compound these vaccines. I wonder if it's a tank like Shamu's tank, like, is it that big?
And they just dump syringes.
Yeah, dude, right? And they just draw it out here. Bro, another one.
They just draw it out in plastics and just dump it in buckets.
Well, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if this logistics for fucking vaccines, which are unbelievably difficult to maintain, but you can't get some fucking milk or some Lunchables on the goddamn shelves. Like, for real. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And there's no Lunchables. And if you have children right now, you're like, where the fuck are the Lunchables at? And guess what? They're not on the fucking shelves. I got fucking kids wondering what the fuck they're gonna eat, and there's no Lunchables.
I got two things.
Mommy and daddy make dinner. I mean, how's that?
You know what? Fuck you, bro. Fuck you. Okay. What did you make for dinner?
What Lunchables are? Hold on. Hey, hold on. Check this out.
Lunchables on the tits.
It occurred to this is just the way Blueberry Sugar thinks. I'm in the grocery store. Do you know how many times when my kids were my oldest kids, when they were early elementary school, yes, I would occasionally grab Lunchables when they're on sale. But you know what occurred? But you know what occurred to Benji as he's looking at these Lunchables? Okay, what are these things? These are cut up pieces of ham, little shitty pieces of ham or turkey.
Dude, they're high quality.
Hold on. Little shitty pieces of cheese. Yeah. And then like 2 or 3 crackers. Okay, you know what I did? I get 1 box of Ritz. I get 1 package of cheese, 1 package of fucking ham, and I cube the motherfuckers up and put them in little things. And that's what Benji. Okay. So anyway, no, go ahead.
You forgot that if you want the 2 Oreos in there.
Very true. And sometimes they have fucking the Reese's peanut butter cups are in that shit.
That's $2.
It is. That's the fancy one. Have you seen the one that comes with Airheads? There's 2. I am well versed in this shit.
But you're the Lunchable god over here.
I am, bro. But I'm being fucking honest. Like, you can't fucking get simple things out. This is all happening while workers are trying to get paid more. There's it's a lot of. It just seems like a lot of fuckery, man. I just kind of get. It's just but I don't get it. I don't fucking.
But my whole point was. Okay, here's the second point.
Go ahead.
First was to shit on Lunchables. The second part of that
fuck you, Lunchables for life.
No, we'll do another podcast on Lunchables. I could seriously riff off of Lunchables if I had to right now for 30 minutes. I'm not kidding. The second part to my offensive was that the answer to Ben's question is like, why can this happen? Like, why can these vaccines or these drugs get pushed out, and why can't condensed milk, 12 cans in a fucking case, right? Like whatever, that can go out, sweetened milk in a can, little chub can,
chubba chub.
But these things and like, that happens over like a 2-3 month period. But these things can get all over the fucking globe or all over the country
immediately.
Before you can even hit send, like before you even hit like confirm order, the shit's like the fucking Amazon guy is on your street already.
Yeah, before you can even say boosted, it's done.
Here's the answer to that question. Money. The money is being poured into that direction. So it's just the same thing as like, okay, I'm a regular guy. I've got to travel to Miami, Florida. I buy an airplane ticket at a regular airport on a commercial airline who then flies me over to there, versus I'm a fucking whatever, I'm a big baller. I have my own private jet. Shoot. That's what the pharmaceutical distribution chain is, the private jet. Because that's where all the money's going. Because they're like, no, this is going to happen. If they want something to happen, they want something to happen. But I'm defending your original point by saying that. Do you understand that?
I guess I get you. I just think that the supply chain logistic situations we're seeing outside of like heavy manufacturing, which is of course being hampered by chip production. I think the rest of it's just bullshit. I think they're just driving up demands.
Yeah.
And I think they're just keeping us in a perplexed sense of fear with the Bareshelves. I think the Bareshelves are a way of reminding people that, like, just keeping us afraid. It's like, what was it? I think, I forgot who said this. It might have been Pablo Escobar. It might have been like one of these gangster guys. He said, you pay your guys just enough, right? You don't want to pay them too little because then they'll be pissed, right? But you also don't want to pay them too much because then they're going to take you out because they're going to be like, oh, he's soft. You want to pay your guys just enough. And I feel like that's what they're doing to the American people. It's like, oh, we want to keep them subjugated just enough to keep doing stupid shit and listening to what we want. We want to just keep them just enough afraid, just enough nervous, just enough. And we're going to remind you with the Bareshelves. We're going to remind you with the higher costs and all this bullshit that you are fucking susceptible to reality. You're susceptible to the reality we're painting. And that's why I just think it's control.
Okay. Holy fuck. Fireworks just happened.
I'm telling you.
That's the tour, like MVP already. We're not even halfway. We're not even a quarter of the way.
No, we're not even a MVP. Fucking 10th. You motherfuckers. No, that was strap in.
Fuck, dude. If you're a real STN motherfuckers, like that was a ring the bell. That was profound. That brought to my mind something too, is like, yes, like these, it's like, bro, we're getting psychological warfare waged on us right now. So, man, credit to Ben, because you just made me a believer for this very reason.
Fucking thank
for this very reason. It's all in effect for the shock value. We grew up in an era where that was never that happened in Russia. That happened at the that's what they wanted you to see, that the Soviet Union was like, look at this picture of blah 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 blah. Look how shitty it is over there. We open up a McDonald's and there's a line 6 miles down the fucking thoroughfare. The motherfucker's waiting for a bullshit little piece of frozen burger. Like, look, they're waiting for bread. They're waiting down 3 blocks. Bread is like 6,000 fucking rubles. So they had to work an entire month to go grab one loaf of bread for their family. Those are like the images they're showing. Now it's the images they're showing us here domestically. Your shit's fucked up. The energy's fucked up. You can't count on us. You can't count on nothing. It's it's psychological fucking warfare, dude. They want us to
That's what I'm telling
fucking insane, and then they can direct us at the drop of a hat with this thing. It all lines up to the extremism.
Yep.
They just here it is. There's no rationale. Like our government and our political system is not built to solve any kind of problem whatsoever. It's to create a sense of like good versus evil. So whenever all they have to do to tell you that some policy is bullshit is to say, well, that's what they do. That, you know what I mean? From either side, that could be like, oh, those are leftist pinko fucking communists who think that, people can identify as pandas if they want to. That's those motherfuckers. So that shit won't fly with us, but it might be something that could actually help your ass, but you dismiss it. That's what they're doing. They're making us fucking morons right in front of your eyes. And it's happening to everybody. That's why they don't give a fuck about education. Everybody's like, why don't they? Because they don't want you to be educated. They want you to be fucking stupid so they can tell you where to walk and where to go and all this shit. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I just think this is ultimately just a control ploy. You make us afraid. You make us think that our whole system's shut down, that we can't do anything, and that we need the government to step in, that we have to be protected. And the Bareshelves. And it plays on both sides. It plays on Biden's side because it makes him seem like, oh, this and that. And for the Republicans, are like, oh, look, he can't fucking keep the shelves filled. It's just all a game, and we're all being fucked with. This is just psychological conditioning to a level that we've never seen. And honestly, I think it's bullshit. That's why I'm saying there's outlying circumstances that don't make this a consistent story. Why are more people getting fired? But we need more workers. It doesn't fucking make sense.
Let's take it one layer further just to close out this topic. And then I promise we will move on. But to this point of this psychological warfare, if they think I'm bullshitting, who owns fucking TikTok?
Right.
How can you look at the generation? Hold on. hey, even us, no, but this is a real point I'm trying to make. If you know, like the generation that's like coming up now, man, they're so influenced by this shit. It's crazy. And the whole thing is it's a brainwashing mechanism. It's very scary. It's called TikTok because it just sucks. The time just goes tick tock, and you're done. You think it's like, oh, I was just charging my phone before I was about to wait for the kettle to finish for my fucking tea, and all of a sudden I'm on a shit for 6 hours. You know? But anyway, you know,
well, yeah, talking about this generation though.
Well, just real quick to close out the point is that they're very influenced by this shit. And it's very enticing because it presents itself as like useful information, but you don't discern, your brain doesn't discern useful information. It assumes that the presenter of the information at the time has some sort of credibility. I don't care who you are, how smart you are. Your brain doesn't know the difference. If something is presenting it as in the same language that you understand a real, like a valid thought, and it comes into your brain that way, you perceive it as a valid thought. It can be crazy bullshit, but if it's packaged that way, then you're going to retain it that way.
Well,
it's
you know
trick,
what,
dude?
It has to do with the education system, like you mentioned, Benjamin, because the kids aren't taught to critically think anymore. They're not taught to understand what is the author's main idea. You're not taught to understand what is the author's intention anymore. You just read and you regurgitate.
They don't have the capacity to break it down.
No, the kids don't anymore. I mean, this has to be taught at home, where you have to have your kid read an article and then ask them, what do you think is the reason behind it? They don't do that anymore. So, it's a dumbing down of America. And it's, like you said, this generation, they're the first ones to experience it. Because I know when I was in school myself, in grade school, it was, we used to clip out our news articles, and the teacher would ask us to identify what the main idea was.
Yeah.
But this generation, they're not taught to think critically anymore. They're taught to just listen to something and then believe it. That's why people think like Joe Rogan's an authority in medical advice. That's shit like that, man. They think CNN and MSNBC are real news because they're not taught to think like, hey, this is a little bit slanted. I could listen to talk radio because I choose to, because I know what they're going to say, but I know that it's extremely biased. I know there's two sides to every story, but you don't get that anymore. So anyway,
well, I'm scared they don't know the difference, but who does know the difference these days? Who knows what's the difference between working or actually working or pretending like you're working? Ben, lead us, please indulge us. But you're the Reddit user. Of the group.
Yes.
What's going on with this generation and Reddit, man?
Well, okay. So this is actually this is a very, very deep hole. So just to kind of just browse to the concept of anti-work, which is the big thing going on right now,
Rick,
actually goes
job,
really right. I fuck it, dude. They're all in. It actually goes back quite a bit further. It's just kind of it actually even goes back to the Industrial Revolution, when it first actually started. Like there was first talk of anti-work, et cetera, et cetera. So now there's a big massive subreddit on Reddit. It's called actually r anti-work, and it basically espouses the benefits and rather the understanding that as society basically loses jobs to automation and to a more tech-based world, that this, I guess you say this, like this obsession we have with the 40-hour work week, with slaving away all the time, with all this, is actually not really a necessary component of society anymore. So they're lobbying for things such as, like, a 4-day work week, more paid times, more worker rights, et cetera, et cetera. And they're also espousing some of the, I wouldn't say some of the kind of crimes of the current workforce, like, like how bosses like we just saw with this, that medical company, all these employees left them. They sued to keep their fucking employees from leaving them.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah.
Right. I quit. No. You can't quit. You have to listen to me. You can't leave us. What the fuck? I mean, that sounds like one of those abusive boyfriends. So, anyways,
no, dude, it sounds like sharecropping.
Exactly right. It's fucking exactly right.
That's what it is.
It's fucking nuts. So our anti-work talks about that. Unfortunately, one of the moderators of that forum, I think the main one of the big things about it was do not give any media interviews. These are rules that they had established on this thing. Yeah. And guess what he does?
He doesn't media interviews.
He does
with Fox News of all people.
Yes, with Fox News. And of course, he is not a very eloquent individual. You can question several things regarding his personality, maybe even certain aspects of his mental apparatus. Nonetheless, he did a horrible job.
Did you
look
see
like
that,
a fucking nincompoop? Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, actually, it was blown out. It was actually, it wasn't as bad as everyone tried to make it out to be.
No,
it was bad. Dude. Yeah, it could have been worse. It could. No. Really? Some people were like people were trying to act like he was like Patrick from fucking SpongeBob. It wasn't that bad. I mean, did he say stupid shit? Yeah. Was he altogether? Not really. But
dog walker,
right? But he's not.
He's 30 years old.
Oh, yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah,
dogs.
It was awesome.
Bro,
yes, you know what? It's an honorable profession. Honorable profession.
No, I know, but you know.
Honorable profession. You can walk dogs and be a happy person.
I know it is. So with his veins popping out of his neck, I know it's
it's shit his pants.
Maybe for a teenager wanting to make money.
He's like nodding, bro. He's nodding aggressively.
Very successful people who walk dogs. All right. Anyway,
he's an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Okay. Hey, he has the business spirit in him. So. Nonetheless, they put this fucking nincompoop on there. He gets blown out by fucking Fox News. They make fun of him. And now he's just like a big joke meme. But beyond that, I do think the concept of anti-work is kind of important now because we are seeing a shift in our society, right? I mean, back in the day, people were talking about, like, oh, you have to work like 80-hour weeks. You got to work all the time. It's just like, what the fuck was that about, right? And I think this is espousing some of that. We are moving towards more of an automated world, right? A lot of jobs that were for basic incomes and stuff like that, our entry-level positions are going to be replaced by automation. Hell, automation and AI is probably going to take over a lot of higher level jobs. Pharmacy and even medicine. In total. Yeah. I mean, imagine you have an AI computer who can do 55 million calculations every 10 seconds operating on you with 55 million possibilities of getting around things versus, Sam, who just bagged like 2 or 3 of the nurses in the back while snorting coke and, with the God complex. Everything's going to be changed with automation and with AI. So I do think they bring up a good point. And unfortunately, this fucking nincompoop numbskull.
Bro, you said nincompoop like 3 times.
I like it. I'm fucking riding this. Take a shot every time you hear nincompoop. I like it. I've been trying to, you know what? I'm trying to lay off the F words. I've been dropping too many F bombs. I'm gonna do some things, because it really, I
like it.
So that's
a beautiful thing. But just real quick before just pause, I think that's the first time. No, I think that's the first time we've actually used the word nincompoop in all 85 episodes. So thank you. Go ahead.
Well, it's 85 special. So this blowhard jerk off kind of embarrassed the concept, but I do think that we should be talking about this.
I think so because
too. Life is changing. The workforce is changing.
Well, here's the thing now. This guy, he didn't do any favors for himself or the Reddit group, but no. I could see where he's coming from though. Normally, me being the conservative Republican part of this show, I would be like, nah, man, get to work and shut the fuck up. Right. but this guy, I see it. Right. I mean, look, the typical millennial and Gen Z person, they can work 80 hours a week and still not afford a home.
Right. That's the truth.
They're inundated with student loan interest debt. I'm not even talking about the principal.
Oh yeah, no,
just the interest debt. And it's hard. It's hard to you've been told, grow up, get married, have a family, but you can't do that anymore.
Yep.
You can't even afford a car.
Yep.
And then this shit's just not getting any better, with COVID. and job prospects. I mean, look at the graduates from even pharmacy graduates from this year. They can't find jobs.
Yeah, man.
I mean, no one's getting a fair shake. And so why work? Why work 40 hours a week when you can't afford jack shit? That's called anti-work.
Right.
So yeah, man, I get it. I know where they're coming from. This guy should have said that on Fox News. Instead, he starts talking about walking dogs.
Oh boy.
That's what.
Yeah.
See, so, and here's the thing. I'm torn on this too because I'm kind of similar to Rick. Not, obviously I don't lean quite as conservative, but on the same token, on the work side, my gut instinct when I hear Ben's controversial motions in the background there, but what I mean is my gut instinct is like, hey man, fuck you.
Yeah.
With your anti-war. I mean,
I can see that.
Just because I don't do something for a living that's necessarily desirable. Okay. It's not a good schedule. It's not a good balance to family, but whatever, man. But I'm the type of dude, I'm willing to do whatever the fuck it takes, no matter how inconvenient. So my 4 beautiful children and my wife can have food and we can survive, we can exist. But let me tell you, man, like I wouldn't even register as somebody who's below the line, whatever. Like I make a decent living. Like back in the 50s, it'd be like whatever I do, like the equivalent would be, you got it made. But I gotta be honest, like, even though, we're not starving. I'm being very perspective considerate. We're fine. But there's no extras. None of my kids, only one of my kids has been on a fucking airplane. I work my fucking ass off. Doing really fucking not cool shit for 10 to 12 hours every single day. And my kids want to go to Disneyland. They want to do this, they want to do that. It's we talk about it and we do this shit. It's probably never gonna happen, man.
No, don't worry. Don't waste your money in Disneyland. Don't worry about it.
Hold up. I like Disney World.
No, but exactly. And I don't. You guys here? You've heard me talk on this motherfucker. This is the 85th fucking time, dude. I'm not stressed about this shit at all. Just because that's not how I'm living. But what I'm saying is, the standard of living. Like I said, somebody like me would be considered like a comfortable exist. I'm out in the burbs. We have 2 vehicles. I got 4 kids, 2 incomes. But what I'm saying is there's no, like, who are these people doing this other shit? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird vision because that's still there. But if you really take account and you take inventory, man, it's not happening the same way. Something happened in like 20, 25, 30 years on the negative to the lifestyles.
Well, the CEOs got paid more. And I mean, the bargaining position of the labor unions went to shit, but rightfully so, because labor unions were highly corrupt and basically mob and, infused. CEOs and Reagan basically, change the tax structure to where, like, you would get taxed less on your stock portfolios, so that it all changed. So I had to I do agree with some of the things the anti-work. Yes, sometimes they do sound like spoiled Gen Zers or millennials or whatnot,
right?
And Gen X kind of just put our nose on the ground. But that's sometimes, though, you have to admit where you did something stupid. And that's what we did. Stupid. That's what we did. Gen X did that stupid. We put our face to the ground. They're going to have better lives. They're going to be around their kids more. They're going to have that balance that we did not have. And I support that for them. I hope they do it.
The disadvantage we had is that we bought into the old imaginatory reality.
Yep.
They don't. They came up in the dystopia as already existed. We still bought into the American dream, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I still, to a degree,
yeah.
Like obviously I don't. Like I'm coming at this from two angles. I'm coming at this from the reality of like where I sit and like all this shit, but at the same time, I'm coming from it first, like the guy who does Skip the Noise once a week, where that's not what, you know what I mean? Like that ain't shit. That shit ain't gonna get me down. But what I'm saying is it's a reality though. Like the shift of what you expect and what's actually happening is completely different. Go ahead, Rick.
The way I think about work is like this. Okay, I get it. You know, they want to change the structure of work and spend more time with their families and all that. And I get that. But human beings from the very beginning of time have always been hunters and gatherers. They spend all day hunting food or farming, and they come home and they have dinner and they do it all over again the next day. That has been the history of mankind from the very beginning. That's how we survived.
Yes and no, though. I mean, if you look at the basic work schedule of a hunter-gatherer society, it was not what we're doing to ourselves now. That didn't happen until the industrial. No, it was not.
Industrial Revolution.
The Industrial Revolution is what did that.
Yeah,
human beings did not do that. We've not been this cultural thing. Like I think there's been, and I can't exactly quote the exact study, but there's a study referencing like how long a worker-gatherer society worked to gather food, go hunting, and maintain their villages. It was in the range of 12 to 18 hours per individual per week, because collectivism was part of it. Right. We're doing 50 to 60 hours per week, and we can't even fucking afford a normal life. A lot of people can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're lucky that we have established now. We have homes now. We have cars now. But think about trying to move into your same neighborhood now with what you're making now. How much more difficult it would be. I know for fuck sure. I mean, houses in my neighborhood have doubled in price.
Yeah.
Twice what they were 2.5 years ago.
That's ridiculous.
But that's what's happening everywhere. Imagine trying to afford what you have now. You can't.
I couldn't.
You can't do it. No one can.
I mean, I can.
Well, yeah, because you're rich. But like, you're a whore. You're a rich whore. But
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. So I feel for this anti-work bullshit.
You are a working man, but you're also
a working man. You're just a rich working man.
No, but he earned it.
He did. He did all those push-ups and on the street corners.
Hey, trust me.
It works.
That gets you paid.
Hey, man, whatever pays the bills.
It gets the milk on the fridge, but
that's right. It's not for everybody. Not a lifestyle for everybody, but it pays the bills.
But see, so you look at what everyone else has to do, and then you look at Dan Crenshaw and Pelosi and Austin and what's his name, Austin Rich, the number one congressman making money on stocks.
What do they do? How do they make all that?
What are they doing? What do they do? They're not worried about anti-work because they're fucking insider trading and making, I don't know, $200-300 million. And while all of us over here fucking we get pretty jacked if we, a lot of people get jacked if they get a $300 check for a fucking kid, which you had to pay back anyways. Shit, so in the fucking end, right? Here we are like, we should get help. And then you have to pay it back. But you don't see Nancy Pelosi paying back her $200 million or Dan Crenshaw's dumbass paying back after talking all of his shit, getting a smackdown from an 11-year-old. I told you motherfuckers that dude was rotten. I fucking told y'all from the beginning. I fucking called it. Didn't I fucking call it? I said he was fucking rotten.
He's getting exposed. Dude, he's getting exposed.
Thank you.
He's getting exposed.
Put another one on the thing because I tell you right now, who's that weird? I don't even need to keep score. It's always fucking right. Because I'll tell you one motherfucking thing. Tell Mr. On February 2nd, or whatever the 22nd, whatever that fucking dude said about Atlantis. Guess what? That shit ain't showing up. But I'll tell you for fucking sure, we fucking called that. I called that fucking prick from the beginning.
That's what I told you the whole time. The whole time. You want
anti-work.
You want some sexy TikTok bullshit with fancy music to tell you the fucking bird people are gonna take over the lava fucking underground
Bird people.
layer. No,
Bird
fuck
people.
that. Mexican Nostradamus is telling you exactly Crenshaw and what he's going to do and what's going to happen.
And guess
Yeah,
what?
he's
He's a fucking
he's going to explode. But these people, basically what's happening is, obviously we talked about this in previous episodes. This is no secret. I think what's so disheartening is the entitlement. So Dan Crenshaw was on this like podcast. Fuck, I forget the guy's name.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Which
Yikes.
one?
No,
Was it a Republican guy, or was
this
it-
guy should get props. I think he's kind of like,
Oh,
he's kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
us.
He's a poly guy. Not poly. I mean, he
Poly.
might be non-binary.
maybe,
but
maybe
he's
don't
He's
judge.
non-binary.
anyway.
Poly. He's polyamorous.
No, but
he just came
but
out.
he's got the same mindset of
I'm
us
polyamorous.
as us, and sort of the movement of, the new media that tells it how it is, and
All right.
fuck the news, skip the noise type of mentality. It's the same. It's the part of the same movement where it's like putting the real shit out there with different angles and avoiding the sort of cartoonish binary system. So, but anyway, yeah, the guy, God damn it. I'll put
Hold
the
on.
thing in
Let me
the
look. Let me
notes.
look. Let me look. Hold on.
Yeah, look it up while let me
Yeah, you do it, you do
talk
it.
a little bit. So basically, he asked Dan Crenshaw about like, hey, what do you think about this? Should should people in Congress be banned from making insider trades? And he's like, well, we've got to he said something to the effect, this is all paraphrasing, I have no quotes, but he said something to the effect of like, it gave the impression like, hey, we got to make a living too, or we got to, in other words, like, it's this like entitlement to like, no, hold up a second. You're a public servant, bro. That's the job you're doing. Your job isn't to be a celebrity or these industry people that you associate with that make all these big moves. You're not entitled to live their lifestyle because that's not what they're doing. But that's what the identity of politicians is now. Everybody in DC, all the representatives, all the senators, they maintain this lifestyle like they're part of this elite. Not really. You're a public servant, right? Like with all your fucking Instagram followers and your big cults of personality, like they're famous, like they're celebrities. That's
I mean, that's just
because that's not what
the
they
way
are,
man. That's
I know, but that's not what the structure is designed to be, and that's what it's become.
And
we just accept it, kind of,
we accept it, but seeing how the country is doing right now and how people are doing, people are starting to wake up to this, and it's getting a bad taste in their mouth,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they were smart about it and like just pause it for a little bit, like, hey, you don't have to make money this year, you've already made a shit ton load of it, can you just hold off on it until the economy gets better? I mean, something, dude. Just make it look presentable. I'm not even saying change it, man. Just hide it.
Oh,
that's the thing. They're not even hiding it.
No, they're
that's
not even
so
hiding
fucked
it.
up.
Oh, John Burke. John Burke's the one. All American Savage.
Dope. Thank
John
you. Thank
Burke.
you, sir.
All American
Savage.
I
Shout
had
out.
I had to.
Mexican Nostradamus in the fucking clutch. Yeah.
Always
thank you for
fucking clutch.
Thank you for rescuing me.
I'll take the Savage on though.
So subscribe. No. Subscribe to this motherfucker because that was a real props for landing that. Although Skip the Noise did, I forgot which episode, but we did land one. John Rosenthal, who was one of the Texas Dems in DC at the time of all the fucking bullshit. Hell yeah. Fucking shout out. Go look, just scroll back. If you subscribe to us and scroll back, and that's a good episode.
Really good interview, man. That was
dude. I got out of work early to come home because it was like, hey, I can do about 2:00. Dude, I was at work. I was scheduled to be there another like 6 or 7 hours. And I just fucking kind of
we need to have him back on. You do need to have him back on.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll reach out. We'll
great fucking dude. Great fucking guy.
That was great interview. Great show. Great.
I would just wonder with Dan Crenshaw, like I said, he was a douchebag. But going into further, just this whole concept of just like you have anti-work, you have all these inequities, and then you have Congress basically insider trading. And then beyond that, you have fucking Congress people that are 82 years old that are going to continue running for Congress.
Right.
AKA Nancy Pelosi just fucking said She is running for Congress again. Ladies and gentlemen, she is 81 years old.
She's gonna be 90 something.
Yes. By the time she's done with this term, she's 87 years old.
Wow.
She can't drive a car legally.
Bro, that's the thing.
Right?
like,
I mean, every
these
time she
people are not
walks away, it's a silver alert if they can't find her in the rotunda. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any problem with old people. But at some point, you just got to take the keys away. I mean, come on. This is happening to the Democratic Party again.
They won't let anyone else come in.
Exactly.
They just won't.
They won't.
You know,
and
they're
it's
talking about
sad.
Hillary running
fucking-
again.
Dude.
You know, they're talking about Nancy Pelosi won't leave.
No, God, she won't.
They're not going to let Tulsi in, of course. I don't know why.
The fuck
Well,
out. Dude,
Tulsi's not
Tulsi's
running
like
for anything
going-
yet. Tulsi hasn't ran
she
for anything
should.
yet. right now.
Bro,
She
she's
should.
over.
She should, but she hasn't.
Vote.
But you have fucking Nancy Pelosi. So once again, for all the Democrats out there and for anyone out there that's liberal or whatever, this is the poison that's going to prevent your agenda, or actually just any liberal or progressive tone, be established in this country. You have continued to allow a cronyism that is decaying the very fabric of what it means to be progressive, of what it means to be someone that is liberal. And it has rotten to the core. We have a completely destroyed DNC. We have a Democratic Party that is completely just shot to shit. And the main person behind it is running again at 81 years old, 30 plus years in Congress. What
That's a
has she
problem.
accomplished?
Nothing, because it's a career. It's
Except
not
for making
designed.
200 million plus.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they're there. Duh.
That's the only accomplishment, ladies and
surprise.
gentlemen.
Because in that position, obviously, you have insider information you're privy
Tad.
to, and you can cash in on it. Why do you
Yep.
think they want to do this shit till they're 90? Because
But
they can
why?
become fucking millionaires.
I
But
know,
that's
but-
not what it's supposed to fucking be. It's supposed to be somebody sacrificing. It's supposed to be somebody doing this for the common good, taking a shit salary, who's already made his money as a fucking attorney or whatever. That's who's supposed to be running and holding these positions.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
supposed to be, hey, I'm going to graduate college with a politician degree and jump into Washington
Politician degree.
and ride that out for 60 fucking years.
Major in extortion.
Yeah,
I
major
mean,
in
you're
extortion.
Right. You're supposed to be
major
you're
in
supposed to-
insider trading.
That's what a lot of the early representatives were. They were business owners, they were landowners, and they would have made their money, and then they go to Congress and serve their term and walk out. You know,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
could have been, like hotel moguls, running for higher office. You know, I mean, and then they don't take a salary for 4 years.
Okay.
But I'm just saying,
Oh, here it comes.
No, no,
right.
no,
But
I
they
haven't
no,
said
but they
any
give all their
names.
kids' salaries on the
Yeah.
federal bill, right? But they don't take a
Sure,
salary,
sure.
but they pay
Oh.
all their kids $1.5 million a year. But
No,
We won't talk about
They
that.
just put them on boards of
Okay.
foreign petroleum companies.
well, hey, dude, I feel you. They're fucking airy, dude.
You
We're all
know.
being fucked from every side. So ain't nobody's got clean hands in this one. But
But
here we
anyway.
go, right? What do y'all
But you-
think? What do you
what-
think of this? Like,
You're gonna be
honestly,
83 with $200 million, dude. You can't take that to the grave with you.
But
Is she gonna
dude,
donate it to a children's hospital at
that's
least?
that level of entitlement, though. That's
That's the entitlement.
level of
That's what
the
it is.
entitlement. She's just like, oh,
They
I'm
think
gonna
that's what it
fucking rule
is.
forever. I'm
They
gonna
got in
tell
there.
people to wear masks, and I'm not going to wear them. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I
Yep.
want because I'm Nancy
Fucking
Pelosi, and I'll do whatever I want. And guess what? Fuck off,
Oh,
because
do as I please.
I am all power. The DNC loves me because I raised so much money from California backers.
Yep.
And in the end, I don't give a shit about anything I'm doing for anyone because
She hasn't done
I don't
anything.
care. I don't care.
Look at her district. It's full of
Oh,
homeless
yeah.
people.
I wouldn't say it's
Except her
Skid Row,
house.
but it's probably fucking close. So So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Not only is she doing that, but then of course the state that she's in is talking about doubling taxes, right, Rick?
Oh,
you brought
yeah.
this one up to us.
Beautiful
What is
transition.
happening with California's fucking double tax?
So California recently proposed the California Senate, I guess, they proposed a plan to give single payer health insurance to everyone in the state. Everybody in the state. So
No, well, hold
California
on. Now,
would be
do
the
me a
largest-
favor.
Go
Before
ahead.
you expound on that, explain to us what you mean by single payer.
Yeah, I was about to.
Okay. Sorry.
The state of California would
Yeah,
be the
make sure.
largest.
Fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
So
My
shut the
fucking
fuck up.
bad. I'm gonna shut up. Fuck
The
up.
brown python's about to pull it out.
He is. He's gonna lay it on the table. I'm sorry. Sorry.
So
Yes.
California is
As-
going to be the largest insurer of the largest health insurance carrier in the nation for the people of California. What that means is single payer. What that means is just like the way you pay your insurance company premiums, okay, to provide you with health insurance.
You mean we pay our
Well-
company's insurance to pay the insurance company?
Yeah, well, the companies share the premium with their employer, right? So it goes both ways. But now
Kind
they're going to add
Oh,
on
it's
an extra tax
Poly buy.
to the people of California to pay for California insurance. So you can get private insurance if you want, but the idea is you don't have to, because now you have California directly footing the bill for your health insurance. Okay. The problem with this is that, one, there's a lot of people leaving California for other states.
You just tax those motherfuckers.
They're trying to.
No, tax them. No, tax them for interstate tax because they're driving up all the prices. So if you move from California to, let's say, Texas, you are charged a 40 or 50% tax.
I have a whole plan for that, by the way.
It's just sweet, right? We've been in discussions about this. I think we're gonna
Yeah,
introduce it to the Texas State Congress. Get
I'm-
these
I'm-
cocksuckers from driving up our fucking house prices. Fuck y'all.
I'm thinking
You
about
fucking
putting
move
them-
here, motherfucker. You're gonna get charged like a 70% tax on everything.
No,
Maybe
that
we
could
should put these California people in like camps, like concentrate this population of people
boy.
into camps.
Wait, you just said camps and then concentration shortly after. I
No.
don't think this is going to be the best effort.
Nobody
that
said
you can
concentration
pull.
camps, man. I'm just
You-
saying.
pretty close.
We
Pretty
concentrate
close.
on these people.
You said
and we put them in these
camps.
camps.
And then three
you-
words later,
hey.
you said concentration.
Bro, yeah, you floated them in the same cloud.
boy.
They
I don't
were
think
out
this
there
is
and-
how that works,
Yeah.
bro. I don't think this is how it works, dude.
It was all in the
You
same
sure?
cloud of smoke.
I'm telling you.
that
Are you sure that's not how it
Rick
works?
is still our Hitler in our school. He's just waiting. He's just all Rick's just
Hey,
one bad
It's
review.
all jokes.
from
all
taking
jokes.
over,
I
bro.
don't- I don't
One
think we should
bad
put people in
review.
concentration camps. I'm just kidding.
Dude.
But they're going to add on an extra tax to these people in California. The ones who stay are going
Right.
to have an extra tax, and it's going to double, essentially.
Cool.
So I think that
Cool.
their tax rate is
Well,
going to go to like.
That
Is it
won't-
like a
that
state
won't make 'em-
tax?
That won't make people want to fucking move more.
No, of course not.
Is this a
it'll-
state tax, or is it like or is it like a sales state tax, or you know what I'm saying? Like
No,
do
It's
we
like an
know
income
how
tax.
it's been?
The state income tax.
Yeah, how
Okay,
does
so
it
the
play?
state
They're
income
gonna
tax
tack it
increase.
onto
Okay,
that,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So it's kind of like I don't know if it'll work on the state level, because
Right.
the people who are going to run this program have no incentive to make it efficient, because they're not a business. You know, they have unlimited tax revenue coming in, and even if they don't, they can just get into debt. You know, nobody cares.
Sure.
So this
Oh, it's
program, I
true.
think, is going to
True.
fail. You know, if you're a private
Fact.
insurance like Blue Cross Blue Shield or Aetna, yeah, you don't give a shit about people, but you have a bottom line. You know,
This is true. This is also true.
you have a bottom line, and you're trying to make money. So you hire the best and brightest to run.
So
it.
hold on a second here. I don't know which is better or worse. You got
Dude.
the dickheads who are just gonna fucking tax the shit out of you, but don't care if they go broke, or you got the other assholes who are trying to cut a profit. They're gonna kill you so they don't go broke.
But at
Either
least you're not
fucking
gonna
way, this
die
is starting to look
broke.
real shitty, man. This doesn't
you
look
know,
good at all.
You share the premiums with your employer to pay Aetna or Blue Cross Blue
What are you
Shield
talking
versus
about? We don't share shit because they don't care. They want to make money and they're gonna fucking murk us if we don't take the generic. If the generic doesn't save your life, you're fucked. That's what that is.
Oh,
bro.
dude, don't get me started on that one. But anyway,
We will. That's the next topic.
yeah,
Actually,
that is the next topic.
But okay, so they're talking
Yeah.
about they're doubling state taxes. So yeah, I think at some point California needs to we need to charge Californians, and no hate. I love you, Californians. You guys are cool, but if you fucking move from your state, you need to be charged double taxes when you get here. Yeah. Because guess what? You fuckers are coming and driving house prices out the ass. You're doing all this shit. So I think there needs to be an interstate tax, right? If you're moving from
crazy.
No,
that's
let's
not
say
crazy,
you're moving from a state with
2022,
like a
crazy.
wild ass cost of living, and you're moving to a state that does not have said cost of living.
Nope.
You have to pay a percentage more tax. So like our state income tax in Texas is 8.25%, right? But if you move from California for the first 2 years you're here, you have to pay 32% sales tax. Why? Well, because you're going to fucking drive up shit. So at least we can get some type of revenue to help the Texas residents that are natives here. Now, sounds crazy, right? But in the end, we have to do something, right? Because you got these fucking D-bags coming up here with bags of cash from selling their overinflated homes and driving up prices here. You know, so there's another tax that needs to be considered. That's fucking one of them. I mean,
and not only that,
getting nuts, man.
It's the same rules like that apply earlier that we were talking about in the conversation. It's like supply and demand.
Yep.
The demand is to live in a state where
that's cheaper,
it's cheaper, freer economically, freer.
You gotta fucking pay for it
in a lot of ways.
I know how they can do this.
I know there's a fee to that. Okay, what's this plan? Let's hear it.
So this plan, aside from my camp plan,
oh boy,
you can charge.
Oh boy,
Texas can add an extra tax to U-Haul trucks or moving
I
companies.
love it. That's a fucking amazing.
But bro, what happens if they pack their own shit?
Then they're smart.
They won't because they're fucking rich.
Oh boy,
there you go. No, for sure.
Anyway,
no,
who's gonna
keep going? Keep going.
You're gonna move from California to Texas by yourself? Come on, dude. Just to save a few bucks.
Okay.
No.
I'm here. Okay.
You
keep
take on
going.
the tax to the moving companies that
go.
are moving from California to Texas. You make some revenue, maybe not everything, but you make some of it. You know, or you're from California, you want to buy land in Texas. You know, they take a look at where you're coming from. Okay, yeah, add extra tax on that to that as well. So anyway. That should be how it works.
Well, something.
Something. Just get their money somehow. I want you know.
Exactly,
and then put them in those residences. We won't call them camps. We'll call them residences. Or we concentrate.
Concentrate residences. Okay, all righty. There just seems to be this kind of slightly scary ring to the concentration residences, but in the end, I think something needs to be done to kind of equal, like in order to move to the state of Texas from California, you just have to pay $100,000 cash,
or something, like a cash upfront fee.
Upfront, you're moving here. Where's your $100,000? I don't have it. Well, too bad. That's what you're going to pay.
It all comes back to the scarcity, right? People, motherfucker, that we're defending those borders a little tighter now, aren't we?
Yeah,
that's not crazy.
No.
That's not that far down the road where we're like, hey, we do have shit. Where Texas realizes, hey, wait a minute, this America shit, that's some different shit. we kind of have some shit here and people want it. Let's see what we can get away with. Why not charge them $100K to fucking cross the border?
You know, if you want to build a wall, build it on the other side.
Hey, take inventory 2026. We'll see where we're at. See if I'm wrong on that fucking idea. That's where we're going to be.
So, if you want free healthcare, just go to California.
There we go. Dude, we need free healthcare anyway.
Bro, California is broken.
Right? Man. They can't fix their problems.
You know what?
I don't get it.
I'm declaring on the Skip the Noise podcast episode 85. California is declared. Hit the gavel a couple times. Broken.
I love this shit. I fucking love it. But you know what else is pretty broken here is individuals that fucking bum rush like smoothie places.
Oh, okay.
Right? I mean, we're just gonna touch on this because, dude, we have so many fucking topics, guys. I'm just trying to keep us fucking.
No, we're coming quick.
But there's this D-bag who was a I think when he was like a partner.
What was his position?
He's a partner in Merrill
He's a Merrill Lynch.
Merrill Lynch partner. I don't have his name, and I don't really need to explain it. If you've been looking at
don't
anything on the internet,
even. Yeah, just search. Just Google search
allegedly.
douchebag smoothie fucking racist piece of fuck.
Yeah, this motherfucker goes off on on two young girls, like literally belligerently, because supposedly his son had an allergic reaction to a drink that they made.
Right. It was a peanut allergy or something.
But
that was the point of contention.
A lot of people say shit. People say shit one way or the other. People with anger issues like that tend to try to come up, the people come up with some shit. Anyways, guy becomes extremely belligerent, starts attacking these girls verbally, and not only doing that, but attacking them racially and everything else. And it was a pretty disgusting aftermath of individuals, and just once again, entitlement to just act like a fucking moron. Right? I mean, to really just have a horrible sense of behavior.
I mean, he threw that smoothie at the girl, man. And
be a human. He threw it at her.
Yeah, he threw it at her.
She dodged it and it hit her shoulder, but it would have been a direct hit.
Oh, it doesn't matter if he threw it.
It's still fucking assault.
Yeah, he threw it with the intention of hitting her right between the fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Don't make any mistake about that. What a piece of shit. Like, I see, like, trust me, I work in a job where I see some bad people who are just broken individuals who just come and, but watching this video, man, there's a lot of things going on. One, if you don't think that, and this guy was a very successful,
Merrill Lynch partner.
Merrill Lynch. I mean, this motherfucker,
really big.
This guy makes decisions that affect a lot of people's lives. Okay. And he's sitting there, and the one thing he said that was like the record scratch, he was like, yeah, you fucking immigrant piece of shit, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
But it was like, yo, hey, hold on, dude. What? Like, wait, you can't put that back in the fucking, like, the ding, 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 like, bah, it already popped out. The Jack in the Box. Right? Ultimate cheeseburger. Big up.
Nice. Those are fucking dope.
Seasoned curlies.
I love those fucking things.
Fucking seasoned
ultimate cheeseburger.
Ultimate cheeseburger.
You lose 2 weeks of your life, but it's fucking good.
I don't even eat shit like that.
I do.
I'm a boring ass. I'm a health fucking nut.
I
barely even eat, but I can mad respect to shit like that. Like, I get it. Dude, bacon avocado burger at Whataburger on the fucking toast, the Texas toast. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even eat shit like that. I just respect it.
I eat that shit. Fuck yeah. I'm fucking going for it.
I used to eat that shit. Anyway,
I still eat that.
That's a whole nother podcast. But what I'm saying is, dude, this guy,
I look at that shit.
It angers me so much that there's a fucking asshole that has succeeded this at a high level, that has these thoughts in his fucking head to unleash on a group of fucking kids basically, dude. Young adults. Who the fuck do you think you are, man? God, there's so many. I
know what he is now. He's unemployed. So
fuck him.
For those who don't know,
fuck him, and he has
been removed and fired by his employer. I believe it was Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. I think Bank of America made it.
He's also going to court.
Yeah, and he is actually being charged with assault and for I think it's a hate crime. I believe they are trying to get into racial abuse and a hate crime. So
whatever the fuck they can maximize, fuck this guy.
He's gonna get plenty of time in the federal pound in the ass facility that he will be part of. And the crazy part was his mugshot, right? His mugshot was fucking fantastic. Teary eyes.
Oh, good. There you go.
Teary-eyed.
You should be. You should feel like shit. No, you should. You should be part. Yeah,
crying, bro.
You should feel all this, because hopefully you'll come out as a better person and understand and be humble.
Dude, he's gonna get fucked.
Fucking shit.
He's gonna get fucked in jail, and he's going to jail he's going to jail as a racist.
Hopefully for a year, man. At least a year.
I think if he assaulted her with racial undertones, I don't think it's just a year. I think it's 5 to 10 federal. This is a federal crime now.
Yeah,
no.
Dude.
Remember, This is now a hate
Fuck him.
crime. It's fucking federal. He's gonna get like
Federal. this
like
out.
he's gonna get real cleaned out, bro.
Over a
Oh,
smoothie.
Over
That's
a
what pissed.
smoothie.
That's why I don't give a fuck what happens to this guy.
Nope.
You're acting like this over
Over
a
a smoothie.
fucking smoothie. A smoothie is a luxury item, bro. They didn't come. These 3 teenage girls didn't come to your house
It's like a
and
Jamba
fucking
juice, right? Or some
unfucking
shit.
dude. Yeah, bro. They didn't shut the fucking gas valve off, so you couldn't get fucking heat.
Right.
And fucking-
oh my god.
You know what I mean?
What a
He's a smoothie.
fucking D-bag. Yeah, dude, he's fucked. So with that, I think we may have to actually touch
take a
on
little
some
break.
things that we're gonna take a little breaky poo. I think we're gonna have to touch on a couple little things in the party in the back. So we may have a little bit of business still to complete, but we're gonna take a little breaky poo,
That's all
ladies
right.
and gentlemen. We're gonna
We'll go through it
stretch
quick.
our
We-
legs. We're gonna purr a little bit,
Mm.
We're just gonna relax.
Purr. I
Relax
like
and
that.
get
I
ready.
like
So
The
I don't know whose groovacious, vivacious tunes we'll
Oh,
be
it's-
jamming out.
It'll be a little Mike Tackle box.
Ooh.
I recently, just behind the curtains conversation here, Mike Tackle box.
Why does that sound so like, innuendo? It has something nasty to it. Behind the
It
curtain.
always, everything I say is innuendo.
Nice.
What are we talking about? How many
Nice.
episodes?
Mike
you
Tackle
listened
box.
to already?
Mike
Mike Tackle
Tackle
box. So
box.
what Mike Tackle box did, he sent me long ago. He sent me a huge file with all these like audio recordings and all this stuff. Like, dude's part of the STN family.
Faux
100%.
life.
Yeah, for life. Like Jeremy.
Yep.
And he sent he sent this file. Well, for some reason it got like hidden on my computer. So for like a shit ton of episodes, I was kind of regurgitating. There was like kind of a handful of tunes that I kept playing. All of a sudden, like I uncovered it again, and I was like, "Fuck, that's where that motherfucker was." So I've got all this shit that he sent me that I never
nice.
used. So I'm trying to spread the wealth a little bit and kind of slowly release it.
Hey, does Mikey
Yeah,
have
go
a Instagram? Anything anybody can hit him up on or
nothing.
follow?
You know what? Let me text him this week and see what he's got going on.
Because
right
you know what,
now
you
to,
guys got to give him some props. He is
Bro.
actually very, very talented musician. So yeah, you guys should definitely give this guy some
Just-
props and just give him
bro,
a follow just to see what the fuck he's got going.
all
He's
around-
always
all-
in the lab.
big shout out, and we'll probably get him on the show here in the next few weeks. I think.
Oh, we
I'm gonna
should.
go
That'd
for
be
that.
fun.
So if you're listening, Mike, just get ready. But
Yeah.
also
I wonder-
too, yeah, just a fucking artist of a human.
Yes,
Like everything he does, dude is fucking
Solid
graph writer,
fucking dude.
paintings,
Solid fucking dude.
drawings, music, fucking rocks the mic, sings,
You know-
drums, plays every instrument, fucking
he really does. He
amazing,
fucking does
amazing
everything.
fun. No, for real. Like I'm
He really
sitting here
does.
like
He really does.
it's all. But go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say with his vivacious tunes, I wonder how many babies have been born because of this music.
Oh,
You know?
dude,
Tons.
there have been some chicks knocked
Countless.
up.
Oh,
Especially during the
Counts.
breaks, people are just like, dude,
Yeah.
I got to get this nut off before party
Yeah,
in the
dude.
back. And
That's
next
right.
thing you know, 9
Boom.
months later, we got
sorry,
STN
man.
babies
Wow.
We got
flowing out
STN
everywhere.
babies. I got to hit that backwoods, that Swisher Sweet, something like that, and groove out to these Mike Tacklebox tunes that you're
And
about
blow
to be
that
blessed
load.
with.
Hey, if you
Blow
got to
that
knock
load.
up a chick
Juice.
during the break, go for it.
Go for it and mark them as STN babies. Tell me what episode you conceived them at. That would be
fuck.
entertaining as fuck. We'll start a little list. We'll start a poster board, a media, like an Oscar hallway of fame.
My child was conceived while
Episode
listening to Skip the
36.
Noise 36. I was
During the
tapping
break.
that ass. While,
Hey, yo, if you send me that email,
while we were
Skip the
going off on
Noise-
a nurse rant.
skip the noise podcast at gmail.com. If that's a reality and you send me that, you will forever be Skip the
Dude.
Noise royalty.
Top 5. Top
If you
5
conceive a
idolized.
baby and you can tell me what episode,
Yeah.
Because all you have to do, dude, you get your girl in the mood, you get her upstairs.
We have to record it and
Well,
send it to
well,
us too.
Maybe.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure we have to have proof. Then you get a
This was-
t-shirt.
Well, yeah, then you get a t-shirt. But if you do, you get her in the mood, you say the right things, you create that atmosphere, you
Tap
make
that
the
ass.
magic happen. You make that magic happen. But right before you do, you say, Alexa, or okay, Google, play Skip the Noise podcast. And then it plays like whatever the latest episode is.
Dope.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Well, Rick's voice by itself
No,
is an
did you hear that?
aphrodisiac.
No, did you hear that in the
Yeah.
background?
Yeah, I heard that.
I just
Alexa's
said that
talking.
and Yeah, she just said skip the noise. It's not a because the device that it's on has kid settings. And it was like, nah, skip the noise. I ain't playing that shit. This is a kid. This is a family.
But you do realize Rick's voice though is an aphrodisiac. I mean, the brown python just lays pipe everywhere.
The legend. The legend
will help you. He is a legend. He's the man, the myth, the legend, filling up jeans, knocking down pipes. And we're gonna take a fucking break. So we'll catch you on the flip. If you impregnate your chick, say what's up.
Yeah, at least tell us what's episode. All right, we'll see you on the other side. And we're back. Party of the back. And I just wanted to say, shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Skip the Noise listeners. And if you're a Skip the Noise like listener, and you know who I'm talking to right now, realize what you just listened to in that first half, the business portion. You do realize that was something special for this year, 85. So this is the one, and I know you know who's listening. You know who I'm talking to. Pump this one. In other words, like feel a sense of urgency to pump this one out. But anyway, we've got a little bit of business to cover before we really hit the party side. So Ben, do you want to kick us off into this?
Yes.
Wrap up the business in?
I'm going to wrap it up a little bit, but yes, a Supreme Court Justice Breyer has announced that he will be leaving and vacating his post. And, not immediately, but pretty soon throughout this term. So he will listen to a couple of leftover cases, and then he will be leaving, which basically leaves Biden the opportunity to at least somewhat prevent the court from becoming any more conservative. It's a pretty big day, guys. I would say Stephen Breyer as a overall justice was pretty, he stayed to the left. He kind of maintained it. There was not a very moderate. He was not a very moderate judge. So it will be interesting to see with Biden having to appoint a new judge who will be bringing in. So this is a pretty big deal. I mean, Supreme Court nominees, of course, once again, just remind everybody, are for life. They are also, probably outside of the presidency, some of the most powerful individuals in our system. So it'd be interesting to see who they're going to pick. But once again, they have to be approved by the Senate. And, you have Joe Manchin and Sestema, whatever her name is. They will be in the Senate. And the cinema. And so we could have some serious complications that could prevent that. This could be a big clusterfuck pretty soon. So we'll see. We'll see also with the midterms. This could be pretty bad for the Democrats.
I don't think they're going to put up that much of a resistance.
They will. How much you want to bet? How much do I bet they try to stall this out for 2 or 3 years? No, I'm not. No, not them. The Republicans. Because I mean, hey, newsflash for everyone out there that doesn't have ears or eyes. In 22, the Republicans are going to fucking sweep the House, and they're going to take the fucking Senate by a slim majority. Just get ready for that. Because that is reality. Biden has fucked up so badly.
Yeah.
There's just no coming back. But nonetheless, he needs to go ahead and get this nomination moving soon if he's going to try to maintain a liberal on the court. So the big controversial subject, I guess, has been that he will be nominating specifically a black female. He's already said this. He says that he believes that the nominee should be black and a female. What do y'all guys think of this? What do you think the way he's calling that out?
So that's fine. In other words, in a world, like in the big scheme of things, I do want to see a black female.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? Like my only contention, and this is what I was kind of alluding to in the text thread where I told you guys, like, I've got a little bit of opinion on this. So let's ignore the fact, all the systemic things that prevent. Let me start over. I like, there's no problem. Don't get me wrong. There's no problem whatsoever.
Whoa.
And I think that it would be good to have a black female. However, I find a weird sort of irony with when the goal, or the like, oh, this is what we're, in other words, this identity relation being weighted heavily or over just pure opinion. Like, it's conceivable that somebody like Kamala Harris would be more of a detriment than, let's say, some counterpart that might just be middle class, white, blah, 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 whatever. It's not inconceivable to think that whatever fictional individual could be better off for the air quotes black community. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, this sort of like push to insert people
Check the boxes.
based on identity is done not out of like a real sense of wanting to do that. It's a posturing. That's what kind of makes my stomach turn about it. It's a posturing done when the real issues are ignored. Like, there's so many fucking social issues. There's so many things that are controllable or fixable that drag the black community down, right? Economically, just whatever. Those aren't being addressed. But from the top, let's be proactive by inserting somebody to represent them. Does that make sense? Like, in other words, you're getting the credit for doing these things, but you're not actually doing the real work to bring this community up and to make it thrive, when there are these glaring issues that are no secret to anybody that are ignored across the board. But like, the focus is right. Like, it absolves you of not doing shit for certain populations. Yes, because you're easily handpicking somebody and saying, insert black female here. Here we go. Boom. Perfect. Now I've checked that box. Now I don't have to deal with actually helping the black community because I did this little easy fix. But I don't think that's helping the problem at all, is my point. For example, Kamala Harris being the vice president, does that help the black community? It sounds good on paper, right? It checked the box. It did this. Is that actually helping the advancement of the black community in the United States? I don't think it does. And that's my whole point for bringing that up. And I know that's something that you may take one way or the other, but that's why I have a problem. It's not because I have a problem with certain people taking certain positions.
Been hanging out with Rick too long.
It's because, no, but not really. Like, if you really listen to what I'm saying, no, I know it's for the sake of the show, but if you really listen to what I'm saying, I think that's it's like a Band-Aid when you need fucking surgery, you know?
Right. And I get you. I get you. In the grand scheme of
everybody
things,
can see the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
You did something. You put it over there.
This is a public move, right? This is a
Right.
public move. He's just trying to get some type of like brownie points or some type of kudos with the African American community, etc. And then
make
also
no mistake.
but at the same time, though, I do see the importance of having a
Right.
black or
I
black
agree.
female or something, because people do need to have idols. People do need things to look up to, and sometimes seeing someone that's similar to you in a position of power does help along. But
I agree. Thomas. I don't get that. Like,
well, but
no one
he's
talks
not a
about him?
female.
Is he
He's
still
not
alive?
He's not a female though. He's a black male. But so I think there is something to be said about that. But let's not take this for what it is. Let's not act like this is some altruistic movement by Biden or by the Democrats, because they don't care. This is just a publicity stunt, just like wearing 2 masks, just like, you know, just like saying, oh, we need to all be careful in COVID, and they all end up going out eating, having nice dinners, and not even wearing masks. This is just a public effacement to make themselves look better.
But that's sad though, that the nominations to a Supreme Court justice falls back on publicity stunts.
Well, of course, right?
Who's most qualified.
Well, of course. Well, I mean, look at Cohen Barrett though. Look at Amy Cohen Barrett. I mean, she's part of a fucking cult, but she was as hardcore conservative. She was not in any way ever really a Supreme Court. She wasn't even a constitutional scholar, but she got it because of her views on abortion and her conservative nature. So yes, Supreme Court justices and a lot of things done.
Cabinet spaces.
Yeah, they're made for publicity stunts and for basically statements of policy.
And you know what else though? Well, real quick.
Go ahead.
So kind of back to my point earlier is like not sort of watering the lawn, right? To create an environment where more potential candidates would possibly present themselves in the future for this position, rather handpicking one based on identity. And now you're controlling it. Does that make sense? Like, fuck the actual problems that are preventing Black females from being in the position to be a Supreme Court justice, right? Like all these like errors with our society. Fuck investing in that. Just handpick one that fits that category, so that you know what I mean? I'll leave it there, but like it's just it's food for thought is what I'm saying. So go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that yeah, you're right. I mean, it is food for thought, but you know, we fall into trouble whenever we choose people based on the color of their skin or whatever boxes they check, because I mean, look at the supply chain issues we're having and who's in charge of the transportation.
All comes back to the supply
chain. You know, we got Pete Buttigieg, who was a mayor of what, Big Bend or something?
Something in Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, Indiana.
Indiana.
He didn't.
I don't think
anything,
you can be mayor.
He was a mayor, and he ran like 23 metro buses at a time or something.
That's pretty difficult.
But now he's the transportation secretary, all because he's gay.
Oh boy!
You know, I don't know if he's people. I have a lot of gay friends, but I would not want any of them to be
just ripping the scab off on that one.
I wouldn't want any of them to be handling the transportation secretary job because they're not qualified.
Oh boy!
You know,
I mean, here's the point: is like, and just this is my final thought on this, but it's like, while it is good, like that's the thing. It's hard to. This is a hard topic because you don't want to. It's not that it's a issue. There does need to be more people of color in these positions. As a thing, there does need to be, but the way to do that, to me, isn't the quick answer, which is just throw whoever the fuck because they fit that category. The real answer is solving the fucking problems that prevent that population from being in the position to take those positions. That gets to be ignored because they can appease with a selection or an appointment of somebody to a position. So it's a game, man. Think deeper than just what's actually the surface level fucking announcement. Anyway, man, I'm all fucking all kinds of fired up, but like
we're all twist and turned on this one.
We are, dude. We're all kinds of twisting and turning. So should we lighten it up?
Like, I think we should. I think you should just lighten it up, bro. Lighten it up. Why are you also fucking so serious all the time, guys?
No, why are you so serious, dude?
Just relax. Just cruise on into something else.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to, we're going to indulge recently here. And, I don't know the location of this, but with the pandemic going, man, people are just getting crazy, they're very scared. We don't want to, I'm trying to find this article. I should have saved it.
Are you going to talk about the burrito shit in McDonald's?
Oh, can't. Okay. Well,
yeah. I mean,
that's
crazy.
Okay. That's crazy.
I like it.
So, we're talking about inflation and, people on their wits end. They don't know what to do with themselves in the pandemic. And also a couple episodes ago, I talked about Randonautica and the fact that it's maybe not advisable that I bring my kids on these journeys because they can be sketchy, but I do it anyway, purposely, so they can see some of this shit. And maybe they have a similar perspective and gain a little bit of wisdom in their young years. So, being that we moved out here to the Burbies, when I started having biscuits, I got 4 of them. I do make a point to forcibly, take them back down to, where I came up and just so they can see things and experience, the world in general isn't so cookie cutter. That's just part of their education. And that's part of my job as a parent to educate them. So we were recently, this is a few weeks ago, I forgot which topic I was kind of trying to attach this to, but either way, we were at a McDonald's and I had my 4 kids sitting in a booth and we just got kind of a basic, I think we were doing something else, dude. We were walking around and we were doing all kinds of things. So a couple kids had to pee and this and that. And I was like, all right, fuck it. We'll just go to McDonald's. I'll get a coffee. And they're like, we're a little bit hungry, Dad, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fuck it. This is where we're having lunch. All right. It was all just decided on a whim. So I said, all right, boom. 3 cheeseburgers, like we go dollar menu, pass it out. That's kind of how we do lunch when it comes to McDonald's. I don't get shit. I don't eat that bullshit. I make my own shit at home. Y'all know this. Fucking I eat Ital is vital. I had a cup of coffee, black. The kids eat their bullshit nuggets and burgers or whatever. 2 or 3 homeless individuals was just no big thing. Just kind of, in the vicinity, doing their own thing, not minding any bothering anybody else. But then the gentleman walks in very abruptly, African-American gentleman, probably mid-60s, very animated. He walks around, he's carrying he's got a little lunchbox type of to-go container type of thing and a towel, and he's got some sort of a drink, and he walks through the entire area he paces it, dude, and everybody's kind of whoa, because he's got that, he's got kind of a aggressive energy. He's talking to himself, he's doing the whole shit, he's walking around, he sits down, he's got all kinds of shit. I don't know if it's food or his actual shit was in his hand, and he drops it on, he's talking the whole time too, good, just saying all kinds of unintelligible dialogue or monologue, whatever. He's talking.
It's your typical Houston person.
Yeah, it's just kind of, just whatever. Yeah. No sight to see. And it's once again, we weren't in any danger per se, but so I pushed the limits a little bit because I purposely went here and I'm just being truthful. I was very aware that something like this might happen, and sure enough, it sure did. So he walks here and he's he's talking unintelligibly, not even, it's not English, it's not fucking, it's just babble coming out of his mouth. And he's got this little to-go container, and he's got what looks to be shit in his hand. And he's dropping it on the floor as he's walking. He sits down, then he gets back up, and I just kind of look at my kids casually, and I go, cool. And he sits down, he literally sits down in the little booth, right behind us. And I kind of look at my kids real quick, and I go, oh, okay, y'all are finished? I think
seriously, you gotta get out of here.
I think this is where we cut it off. I was like, grab your drinks, guys. Told my son to go throw the trash away. Get up, girls. I think this is where we leave. But anyway, it was just a typical day. No big deal. Just something I've noticed though recently. And I've been posting these stories So the local, Harris County, Greater Houston area, and maybe every municipality kind of has the same phenomena in 2022. But Florida catches a lot of shit for being, right, that's the air quotes Florida man. Right? Like there's all these news stories. Florida man, wears a samurai fucking war outfit and goes into a Taco Bell and demands that his tacos be cut in half. Whatever. Like that's a Florida man, meth, cocaine, fucking banana boat story. Whatever. But I find that like the great city Houston seems to post its own. There's just like a unique vibe to the news story. And I try to share these with the rest of the community here on the podcasters of whatever it be, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, all of our social media network, Twitter. It just has this there's just a unique vibe that it's hard to point a finger on. And it's stories like these that just make everything shine, man. There was a guy recently who there was a big like police chase, right? And just some formal high school track star who had a little experience as a security guard took down this guy. Man, you want it, like the guy was trying to get away, ran pretty fast, but this guy had this track background. So if you watch this video, it's like ABC Houston, man, this guy just strides out and just takes this dude down. It was just such a beautiful athletic performance to watch.
He was,
like
what is he
in
doing
a real
as a security
crucial
guard,
situation.
Man? He should be like he was in college running.
No, that's what I'm saying. Gets this dude a sponsorship, get him on the Nike team, man, for the Texas Relays. But I guess he's retired. He's working now. But anyway, he got a chance to utilize those skills and to be a big hero for the day. But I just noticed that the Harris County, Greater Houston area produces some just very interesting stories, like day to day to day. And anyway, I just wanted to share that with the old Skip the Noise fam. So
yeah, if you ever want to move to Houston from California, expect all that,
yeah, and pay the tax.
Story McDonald's,
and right when it gets right, you get that, you pay the tax, you pay that $150K upon crossing the border. And just expect whenever it rains for 6 days in a row, that you might find alligators in your suburban neighborhood cruising around.
That is totally normal.
That's par for the course.
I mean, you got to worry about the people more than the alligators, but that's just my story.
Right. Oh, definitely. Yeah, because every single individual has our arms.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Unfortunately, a lot of road rage stuff going on. But anyway, just kind of one of those things to expect if you're a follower of the show and of the social media accounts, that I'll be continuing to just foreclose all these local news stories that I just have to say, I just happened to notice this week that like everything I was getting on my feed, I was like, wow, this is fucking crazy. I mean, we always lead the show or cover local stories like the teacher hiding her COVID positive son, 14-year-old son in the trunk of her car. It just seems like literally every day of the news cycle, we produce some pretty interesting stories. So
yeah,
keep an eye on that. Look
Well,
forward to that.
there was a story out there in Pennsylvania about possibly the next outbreak of a virus.
Ooh,
I don't know if y'all heard about that.
Oh yeah.
So this lady
expand.
Oh, so there was this truck carrying I guess an 18-wheeler full of monkeys, of all the most random shit ever. Monkeys. It's in a highway, and they crash. He rear ends an 18-wheeler, and the monkeys, it crashes, and the 18-wheeler tips over, and the monkeys escape. Well, this good Samaritan lady gets out of her car and begins to assist, trying to pick up these monkeys. So, can you guys hear me? By the way, I'm having some issues.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Okay. Cool.
Oh yeah.
So
I can hear you fine.
Oh, dude.
Okay. Good. No, my headphones just crapped out. So what ends up happening is that she ends up helping these monkeys, and these are lab monkeys of all things. So laboratory monkeys who have a bunch
Were
of
they?
weird shit on their bloodstreams are just crashing. There's blood everywhere.
Oh,
and
yeah, dude.
Live monkeys.
Ugh.
Well, the thing is that this lady decides to go out and help collect these monkeys, and she ends up
Lab
describing herself.
monkeys.
She ends up saying, "Well, I got out of my car. I saw all this monkeys on the floor with blood and those feces everywhere, and I just happened to have a cut in my body, and I ignored it at the time. So now she's in the hospital with like herpes B, whatever that shit is.
Herpes
guy.
B. I mean,
COVID 20.
She's got that
She got
herpes
COVID
bitch
20.
going.
She's gonna have COVID 100 pretty soon.
COVID 22.
Oh, bro, COVID 100. That's way more than COVID 19.
Oh yeah, because she was helping simians out in the highway.
Right. She thought there were cats. And so she goes on Facebook. She said, "What a day. I tried to help out an accident and I was told there were cats in the crate. So I went over to pet them only to find out it was monkeys."
Rabbit monkeys.
Dude.
So here's the
monkeys
thing.
at-
Rabid monkeys at that. Lab monkeys. So who knows what they had in their system? They probably had the next 65 strains of fucking COVID
Quite
running
possibly.
through their veins.
Dude.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead
Dude.
serious. These are COVID in all intents and purposes. These are COVID monkeys on an 18-wheeler
And the
bound
lady has a
for who
cut.
knows where.
She has a cuts in her body from whatever, maybe a cat at home or something. And she touches these monkeys and she touches the feces and their blood. And
Yeah, she walked through
Oh,
shit. She
dude,
said,
come
and then
on,
one of them,
man,
one of them
just
spit in her
keep
face.
driving. Just keep driving.
driving.
That's all
Yeah.
you gotta do.
What were you? No. Here's the thing: 18-wheeler crashes. Like, how many monkeys get escaped from this scenario? What the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You gonna
Yep.
chase one of them down, bro? No, you're not. What the fuck were you gonna do? Stay in your
Run
car,
over.
roll up the windows. Yeah, if you run one over, nobody's really gonna care. No matter whatever monkeys whatever monkeys.
I just see someone flying through this group of monkeys, and you see them like all just flying off the hood and shit. You're just like,
No,
fuck
no.
you, monkeys.
Not only that, dude. Shout out to the monkey community, but like,
Shout out to the monkey community.
which, dude,
they're
the ones
they're a
that
big demographic for the Skip the Noise podcast.
big time, dude. But like,
Oh my
the ones
God.
that they
I'm pretty
captured,
sure zoologists put us on to have monkeys mate or something.
Oh,
hell yeah.
dude.
But
Oh,
once-
that's really the question. How many monkey babies were made during the Skip the Noise podcast? Probably a lot.
Probably a
Your
lot.
voice,
But, like,
Rick. Your voice.
final
Rick, goes
thought?
interspecies, bro.
one final thought on the monkeys situation. Man, like, yeah, once the monkeys get out, I lost my whole
How do we
I'll see if I
collect
can.
more? I mean, you shoot them.
Oh
first
no,
of all.
like once you well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, all the monkeys that they caught that got away, they just euthanized.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like, what the
100%.
That's what I was gonna say. So like,
I mean, I wonder if people
lose
with hazmat
scenario
suits
for
walk
the
in there.
monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% they did.
Yeah, bro.
They
So this lady
quarantined, bro.
walks in there with that hazmat suit, just with her bare hands and legs, starts picking this shit up, man. And now she's in the hospital because of
you get
pink
sneezed
eye.
on.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have talked to those. You shouldn't have tried to help.
Now
those
she has monkey
monkeys.
AIDS or something. She has something weird
Yeah.
going on. Poor lady. Poor
Yeah,
lady.
and
It
I'm pretty
hissed.
sure
They
she's
said
behind
it-
a
they
bubble
said-
now.
They said it hissed.
Well, okay.
Oh,
So
yeah,
here's the thing now.
She has
With-
the next. She's patient 0 for whatever the fuck they're gonna try to keep
For
coming.
for herpes B, whatever that shit is, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
apparently there's no cure for this. There's no antibiotics that she can take. There's no antivirals that she can take. Nothing
Yeah,
has been
fuck.
developed for this lady's condition of having herpes B in her eye.
Hmm.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that 18-wheeler was not supposed to crash. You know.
Yeah. And what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? So stay in your car, put up your phone, put that shit on World Star Hip Hop, and then that's it. Walk away,
Right? Were you gonna Were you gonna chase one down and bring it back to safety?
Oh boy.
They were just gonna shoot it and
It's how
brought it back.
Dude, is that what your plan was?
I'm surprised they didn't have like
catch
exploding collars on them or something. Like
one? You know,
it
fuck,
just-
bro, you know how fast. You know how fast they are. Like,
Especially when
what is-
they're in captivity.
Oh, dude. dude.
That lady wasn't gonna do shit. And she
Well, not only that, but suppose it didn't run away. She caught one and they were super aggressive and they ripped out her face. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You see, she gets her fucking face ripped off trying to save a monkey. Oh shit!
yeah, man, people are stupid, man.
And with that wonderful visual, I think we're gonna start. Letting the it's time for the sunset. It's time to pull the sails down and start cruising this one on home.
Yeah, the tide is receding back into the void.
Riders on the storm.
Dude, isn't it weird how much shit happened in 1 week?
Huh?
Oh, it's too
Isn't it
much.
weird how
It's
much
too
crap
much.
happened in 1 week between the last show and this show? Just
Yeah,
we had so
dude.
much
No.
stuff to talk about. Imagine what's gonna happen next week.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking. You know what?
Fucking
We're
asteroid.
probably gonna have to catch up. We're gonna have to fucking catch up
Atlantis
next
is gonna
week.
be discovered. I mean, who knows?
It's not
We'll
being
see.
discovered.
Right.
Watch it. I'm like, okay, I was fucking wrong. Atlantis was discovered. Shit.
Yeah. Well, what was the date?
Yeah, there were human fish.
I don't know.
down
What
there,
I think
so.
February something. February was the 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
We'll
so.
see.
I think it's
We'll
February
see.
2nd. So we're coming up on that. So we'll see if we discover Atlantis.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, shit. Well, fuck. Maybe we
Hey,
gotta
here's the
listen to
thing.
this, dude.
If that's bullshit, if it's February 3rd and we don't hear nothing about no fucking
Oh,
Atlantis, everybody who's listening to this right now, to this episode, if you stuck with us this long, just pepper that TikTok account
Yeah.
with like, no bullshit, fucking this
Yeah.
asshole's an idiot.
Come
Listen
on,
to
like a
Skip the
chant.
Noise. Listen to Mexican Nostradamus, predict the future.
Exactly. And then you will understand the truth
That's true.
because
You
we
will.
are the street prophets. So, with that being said, where can they find us, B?
You can find us on Instagram at skip_the_noise_podcast. They can also email us if they would like to in a long form paragraph if you'd like to communicate something lengthy at skipthenoisepodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on TikTok, fucking Facebook. You can find us on goddamn anywhere you can download podcasts. You can also find us on what's the other shit? Twitter.
Nice.
Skip the noise at Skip the Noise PO1 is the handle there. Also, Mexican Nostradamus and Brown Python have their own individual accounts that they run and put out some wisdom every now and again. But other than that, just spread the news. We got some pretty hellacious flyers done by my boy Josh. Shout out to him. I just simply texted. I actually, it was a conversation with Jeremy. Like, you know what, dude? I'm just gonna go old school. Fuck this social media bullshit. Back when we're in the local Houston music scene, man, we used to have to go out there and beat the streets and pass out flyers and talk to business owners and say, hey, can we put these here? Or just strike up conversations individually. So I got the idea. I was like, you know what? Maybe that's the way to skip the noise, as it were. Because so many, it's just like the social media is just like too bombarded. There's too much information. You're not committed to it. But if Benji, aka Blueberry Sugar, walks up to you in a social scenario and I start telling you about the show and I've got a little piece of paper in my hand, maybe he'll take a note. Maybe he'll scan that QR code and maybe he'll share that with a friend. Maybe it's not your thing, but maybe you have a friend who it is their thing. So share it with them. Share it with whoever. That's the whole point. Like I said earlier in the first half, we're part of this movement that's trying to break through this bullshit social construct created by basically theater and propaganda to make you stupid so they can control you. So we're against that. We're trying to fight against that. So spread it. It'll help everybody. Until then, we will see you next week. Spread it like avocado toast or avocado on some nice toast in your toaster oven. But until then, enjoy this groovacious tune by young, handsome, artistic, vibrant, brilliant, genius,
virile
Mike Tacklebox. Virile, yeah, virile. Very virile. Very virile. As is the triumvirate of Skip the Noise. We'll see y'all next week. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.